Myanmar, I'm Henry Zin. Welcome to MI Radio's Myanmar Today, where we bring you the latest news and reports from around Myanmar. First off, a report on Kachin State's further steps for business development. For those who are into sculptures and art, we have a report on wooden sculptures aiming to set a Guinness World Record. A story coverage on new generation Lethwei fights drawing very little audience. And lastly, a report on fading lacquerware business in Myanmar. Now, before we get to the reports, why don't we have a look at what's happening in local news. State Councillor Daw San Suu Kyi attended the opening ceremony of the ASEAN ROK CEO Summit and delivered keynote speeches at the ASEAN ROK Culture Innovation Summit and the ASEAN ROK CEO Summit in Busan, the Republic of Korea, on Monday. The State Councillor also visited the Busan University of Foreign Studies and met with its president, Jung Ji-yong, and officials. The State Councillor greeted Myanmar students in ROK and students specializing in Myanmar language at the university. At the meeting, she answered questions on cultural affairs of common people and students, promotion of friendship relations, eradication of substance and drug abuse among students, learning of Myanmar language and independent, active and non-aligned foreign policy of Myanmar. Vice President Lethwei attended and gave a speech at the Steering Committee and Work Committee meeting to organize the 20th Myanmar Traditional Medicine Practitioners Conference and Seminar at the Ministry of Health and Sports in Naypyidaw on Monday. The Vice President also called for the ministries to help in holding the upcoming event and also advised the coordination of Steering Committee, Work Committee and subcommittees in implementing the plans adopted by the conference in respective sectors. Union Minister for Health and Sports, Dr. Lethwei, as the chairman of the steering committee, explained implementation of resolutions made in the 19th MTMPC, overseas training programs, other plans to develop traditional medicines, the expected budget to expand research, educational programs to generate skillful traditional medicine practitioners, and to form Myanmar Traditional Medicine Council. Union Minister for Commerce Dr. Tan Min received Vice Governor of Shaanxi Provincial People's Government, Wang Yixing, from the People's Republic of China on Monday. The meeting focused on closer cooperation between businesses of the two countries, more investments from China in potential business sectors, and technical cooperation in the sectors of charcoal, hydropower, energy, construction, and pharmaceuticals, fulfilling the requirements in production and logistics, establishing business centers to support bilateral trade and investments between the two countries, providing assistance in upgrading quality of Myanmar agricultural products, bilateral invitations to the expos to promote trade. The world's biggest wood sculpture exhibition will be held in conjunction with the 8th Sculpture Awards ceremony at the Shui Pi Resort in Bago, 10 Mile Gone, from 29th of November to 4th of December, according to a press conference on Saturday. With the government's official permission, wood sculptors led by committee's chairman, U Kim Mao-a, made wooden sculptures from the trees collapsed by Cyclone Nargis. The winner of the favorite wood sculpture competition will be awarded 10 million kyats. First runner-up with 7.5 million kyats, and the second runner-up with 5 million kyats. 10 consolation prize winners will also be awarded 1 million kyats each. But that's not all. Individual medals made of gold will also be presented to the winners, runner-ups, and second runner-ups of the competitions. Among the wood materials being carved from Nargis period to present day, the materials that are difficult to carve will be displayed at Shui Pi Resort. The best sculptures made from materials that are easy to be carved will be sold at the exhibition. That's all with the local news, and here's a first report on Myanmar Today. Kachin State has invited local and international investors during its first time Kachin State Business Forum. The locals are striving to achieve sustainable business development within the state despite the challenges. With the collaboration of public and private sectors, the business sector of Kachin State is expected to develop more. We'll have more of that from our reporter, Lethwei Zin.
With their rich resources, good location, and unique attraction points, Kachin State is full of business potential. However, because of the different reasons, the business penetration in Kachin State was quite low, so the local people are moving forward to seek for more business opportunities through different attempts. to encourage ethnic entrepreneurs and sustainable development within their respective regions. Myanmar Ethnic Entrepreneurs Association (MEEA) was established in 2018, and Kachin State itself has already founded the branch.
အဲဒီကချင်တိုင်းသားလုပ်ငန်းရှင်များအသင်းကိုကျွန်တော်တို့2019ပေါ့ဒီဇွန်လ6ရက်နေ့မှာစတင်
Kachin Ethnic Entrepreneurs Association was developed on 6th of July 2019 under Myanmar Ethnic Entrepreneurs Association with 311 members. We founded this association because we find it difficult to do business individually. We organized the first Kachin State Business Forum to invite the locals and international experts, get experience, and seek for the advanced technology.
ကျွန်တော်တို့ဒီတဘာဝတရားတွေပေါ့နော်အားလုံးကိုကျွန်တော်တို့ကထိမ့်သိမ်းရင်းနဲ့ရေရှည်တည်တံ့ခိုင်မြဲတယ်
We want to conserve the ecosystem to achieve the sustainable prosperity. We want to help the state-based businesses emerge and develop, which can offer more employment. We believe that the business development can support the peace within the state.
However, Kachin State is still facing struggles for the sustainable development, such as in sector of human resources and investment.
ဒီမှာနေထိုင်တဲ့လူတွေရဲ့လူသားအရင်းအမြစ်ကတော့အဓိကဖြစ်တယ်ဒါကြောင့်ကျွန်တော်တို့ဒီလူသားအရင်းအမြစ်
Besides the rich resources and good location, the human resources of the residents are the key point. We have to enhance the human resources to link with the potential business situation for the bigger market. Then we can go for advertising, but the human resources development is fundamental.
အခုလေးလောလောဆယ်ဆယ်ပေါ့ပြည်တွင်းပြည်ပယင်းနှိမ့်မြုပ်နှံမှုအနေနဲ့ပေါ့နော်ကျွန်တော်တို့မျှော်လင့်တဲ့လောက်ပေါ့နော်တော့မဖြစ်လာသေးဘူး
The local and international investment has not reached to our expectation. It is because the investors look at the business guarantee, the situation of the infrastructure, and the fixed legal framework. Even it has not reached up to the expectation, we see the increase in some aspects. For our Kachin State, there are many potential. We can witness the interest of the international organizations so that we have to prepare the basic infrastructure and the certified legal framework. Most importantly, we need to seek for peace in the whole state.
ဒီရိုးရာချက်ခုတ်တဲ့လုပ်ငန်းတော့ကြတော့ဒီဟိုပေါ့ဘိုးဘွားတွေပေါ့နော်တက်ကြီးတဲ့လူတွေပဲ
For the traditional weaving, only the elder people are professional and they are not doing it for the business. Since our traditional costumes are valued and most of the people like to wear, we need to encourage the traditional weaving to enter into bigger market. We need to pass on to our next generation. However, the traditional costumes are only dressed by our nationals. So, for the international market, I am to produce the accessories which can be used by other nationals.
As the first activity of Kachin Ethnic Entrepreneurs Association, the Kachin State Business Forum was successfully organized to invite more local and international investors and to encourage the state-based businesses. That's all for now. This is Dora Suisin from MI Radio.
That's a report on Kachin State's further steps for business development. Alright, it's time now to check on the weather forecast in Myanmar. In Yangon, there's plenty of sunshine, but air quality will be unhealthy for sensitive groups during the day, and we'll have clear skies later at night. The temperature throughout the day will be in the 30s. Unfortunately, there's no chance of rain at all for the day, so get yourselves prepared to stay in the shade. We all know the Yangon heat is quite unbearable for most of us, so stay hydrated in this hot weather. In Naypyidaw, it's about the same conditions as in Yangon. Plenty of sunshine during the day, and we'll have clear skies at night. The temperature throughout the day will be in the 30s as well, and there's also no chance of rain at all for the day, so maybe you might want to protect yourselves from the heat and don't forget to stay hydrated as well. In Mandalay, it's a nice weather with plenty of sunshine and we'll have clear skies at night. The temperature throughout the day will be in the 30s and we may have to bear the heat in the city since there's really no chance of rain for the day. And the wind's travelling at 7 kilometers per hour. Well, we have another report coming up, and then we'll check on the stocks and currency exchange rates. A press conference for the self-proclaimed world's largest wooden sculptures event took place at Seyasan Plaza on Saturday. The event will showcase and put over 220 wooden sculptures, including giant works, into contest. The organizing committee is optimistic that Myanmar will soon set a Guinness World Record for the largest number of wooden sculptures. For more on the effort to set the record and a unique story behind the wooden sculptures, Agacho will tell us more.
Myanmar is trying to set the Guinness World Record for having the most number of the wooden sculptures. This was said at the press conference for the upcoming World's Largest Wooden Sculptures event. The press conference took place at Seyasan Plaza on Saturday. Myanmar is the country famous for its wealth of resource for the wooden sculptures, which are trees. And one devastating natural disaster, Cyclone Nargis, hit in 2008 is also one of the reasons why the vast number of sculptures came up. Wu Ji-win, chairman of organizing committee for the sculptures event, said,
The cyclone Nargis that hit Yangon in May 2008 devastated buildings, trees, and killed a considerable number of people and animals. The sculptors came together to turn pieces of fallen trees, small and big, into sculptures with official permission from the government. Over 100 experts were called in to make the sculptures. The sculptures contests have been organized to improve the sculpture making skills since 2009. Contests of such kind have been held for 7 times. This year, the 8th Sculpture Award giving ceremony will be held at Shui Pi Resort on December 4th.
The so-called world's largest event will feature 227 wooden sculptures from 20 townships. These sculptures will be going for the contest. The contest will award the prize of up to 10 million kyats. He also claimed that Myanmar could achieve the world record in terms of the high number of the wooden sculptures.
We think Myanmar has the most number of resources, which are trees for the wooden sculptures. Cyclone Nargis felled the trees, and this is the present it gives. We are trying to become Guinness World Record for having the most number of wooden sculptures. So first, we are trying to become a record in terms of quantity and then the quality. There are over 10,000 wooden sculptures in Sculpture Village. Some of the sculptures are as big as a house. We have invited international visitors to the event as well.
The prices of sculptures which will be sold range from the highest price of 20 million kyats to the lowest 10,000 kyats. He also explained more on the types of sculptures which are not allowed in the contest.
We will not allow some sorts of sculptures like religious ones. For instance, Buddha statues or spiritual being sculptures, because there are plenty of them out there, and we don't want the sculptures to look unrespectable with imperfections. Also, we won't allow the sculptures of notable persons, as we are concerned this will lead to controversy. So, what I accepted? Well, we encourage the sculptors to craft the tradition-related theme, such as children played in traditional game, animals such as horse, elephants. Also, they will showcase the sculptures, highlighting the way Myanmar people dress and pieces of tradition since the Bagan era, Gongbao era, etc. So, the sculptors are given this wide scope of theme to sculpt whatever they see, from people to the animals.
The event aims to attract visitors both from local and international to the country. The sculptures that are not easy to be remade will be showcased as a museum piece at Shui Pi Resort. The quality sculptures that are not hard to be made will be sold at the event. The event will include sales of sculpture shops and handicraft shops, as well as Myanmar traditional food and traditional theatrical performances by country's famous artists. The event will include the awarding ceremony, sales and exhibition of the sculptures of all sizes. It will run from November 29th to December 4th at Shui Pu Resort. This is Agajo reporting for Myanmar International Radio.
That's a report on wooden sculptures aiming to set a Guinness World Record. And here we have the information on currency rates from Myanmar's central bank. $1 is at 1,514 kyats. 1 Chinese renminbi is at 215 kyats. 1 euro is at 1,669 kyats. 1 pound sterling is at 1,949 kyats. 1 Singapore dollar is at 1,110 kyats. 1 Malaysian ringgit is at 362 kyats. 1 Thai baht is at 50 kyats and the Indian rupee is at 21 kyats. Gold is trading at $1,454. Silver is at $16. And Brent crude oil is at $57. On the Yangon Stock Exchange, FMI is up 500 and it's at 12,000. MTSH went up 50 and it's at 3,900. MCB went up 200 and it's at 8,300. FPB is at 23,000. TMH is at 3,000. You're with MI Radio's Myanmar Today. You can log on to our website at miradio.com.mm and catch many other great programs of MI Radio on the website. We're also running on 96.1 FM in Yangon, 96.5 in Mandalay, and 96.7 in Naypyidaw. Alternatively, you can download our app on both iOS and Android platforms. It's easy to search. Just type in Myanmar INTL Radio and you'll find the app. Download it on your devices so you can listen to our radio programs on the go. Stay with us as we bring you more reports on Myanmar Today. New generation Lethwei matches were staged on Sunday at Thainphu Stadium in Yangon, with an aim to promote traditional boxing as well as to give a chance for new generation fighters. Myanmar Traditional Lethwei Federation is organizing the matches. However, when it comes to the new generation fights, there is only very little audience. We have one of our intern reporters at MI Radio and he's got more on the story.
At Thainphu Stadium, Yangon, preparations are underway to host new generation matches on coming November 24th. As an organizer, Myanmar Traditional Lethwei Federation is aiming to introduce new generation fighters as well as to promote the traditional bare-knuckle boxing. But for the federation, there are also concerns when they organize the competitions for new generation fighters. Why the number of spectators has been on a decline since 2017. The stadium is packed with the audience, only when popular fighters are there. Myanmar Traditional Lethwei Federation also called for the locals to learn to appreciate and encourage traditional boxing Lethwei during the press conference for the upcoming competition. 27-year-old foreign Lethwei fighter Ali Kardistan, who will join the match on Sunday, said to MI Radio.
Yeah, my name is Ali Karadaghi. I'm 27 years old and I'm from Kurdistan. Yeah, first time I started, I did Muay Thai in Thailand and in 2015. When I want to come back to my country, in the air I see a reclam of the Lethwei and then I see Lethwei and I take a picture and then I go back my hometown and I check it about YouTube about Lethwei and what it is. I have a headbutt, something like this is different. And then I interesting and is a martial art is when I was 10 years old. Martial art is my dream and my hobby and always I like to doing and first time kickboxing and Muay Thai and then now I'm so interested in Lethwei and I do my best in Lethwei. Yeah, I prepared very well for this fight in Pa'an. I train hard and always I'm ready for the fight and I'm ready for 24 November. I will do my best in Lethwei fight in Yangon. The first time in 2015 when I see the Lethwei and I want to visit to Myanmar, but I think is about safety, something like this. But then I'm sure, and now I'm here in Myanmar, and here is very safety, and the people have a beautiful heart, and I'm so happy in Myanmar. And when I see the people, I love them, and they all loving me, and I'm so happy, feeling happy here. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm ready for this fight, and 100% I will do my best, and I think I do my best in this fight, and let's see, guys. I do very good. Yeah.
But there are also some people who assume the country's traditional boxing becomes deteriorating and backward. However, there are more and more foreigners coming to Myanmar for Lethwei matches at their own expenses. For some, they are very eager to actively learn Lethwei, while others join as cheering audience. Usai Zozo, organizer, Myanmar Traditional Lethwei Federation, said to MI Radio,
Fighters like Tonton Mir, Tutu, Dreamashaw, who make the audience breathtaking, become rare now. For me, Lethwei is not just an ordinary sport, but it's a professional for me, even though Myanmar traditional Lethwei is not that much advanced. Foreign countries have a lot of interest in Myanmar Lethwei. They try to collaborate with Myanmar and build training centers in their countries. We organize Lethwei events in Japan, Thailand, and Singapore. Moreover, countries like England, Poland, and Russia are contacting us to organize Lethwei events together.
With little audience, the new generation boxers haven't been in the ring for about 9 months, so the fight match has to be arranged in terms of the coach's demand due to the lack of matches. Lethwei Zin, Vice Chairman of Myanmar Traditional Lethwei Federation, said to MI Radio.
There are still many tasks to carry out to improve traditional Lethwei in our country. On the other hand, compared to 10 to 15 years ago, there have been great progresses in traditional Lethwei. For example, the number of matches increased, especially those with foreign fighters, and there are also fighters who observe Lethwei and even get into MMA fight ring and kickboxing competition.
In terms of the prize as well, the award is a great deal of money for the famous fighters. And the sponsorship for the matches too, it is far from the continuous and firm support. Preparations are underway as the event is a few days away. Even ticket price varies from 5,000 chats to 10,000 chats and 30,000 chats for VIP seats. There will be 10 matches of senior fighters and 12 for the new generation fighters.
That's a report on new generation Lethwei fights drawing only very little audience. And here's the last report on fading lacquerware business in Myanmar. Lacquerware is one of the 10 Myanmar traditional arts and crafts which has its beginning in the 11th century, and this handicraft has been passed on from generation to generation until today. There are few places where lacquerwares are made, but according to some reports, lacquerware industry is fading in Myanmar due to difficulty in acquiring raw materials for its production and less number of craftsmen. Therefore, Myanmar discussed this issue during its second time 14th regular meeting on Monday. Williamson reports.
Myanmar is a country known for its traditional arts and culture, and among several traditional arts and culture, lacquerware is one of the most valued traditional wares among the people. These lacquerwares can be used as plate for food and utensil in offering fruit and other items in religious ceremony. Therefore, there are several people who make lacquerware as their professions and earn their livelihood. But according to the report by some of the people who are involved in this traditional lacquer business, the number of craftsmen are declining, and as a result, the lacquerwares are getting expensive year by year, putting the lacquerware business at risk. The reason for less number of craftsmen who make lacquerwares are, as for their profession, getting raw materials for the lacquerwares has been getting hard. Therefore, the craftsmen are leaving this profession and go for other professions to support their family. Lacquerware professions can also be traced back to 11th century when the people learned this art and handed the profession from generation to generation. Since then, this profession has been kept for centuries till today. For centuries, Myanmar lacquerware is widely known among other Asian countries such as Japan, China, and Korea for many years. Although there are lacquerwares among other Southeast Asian countries, Myanmar lacquerware is said to be famous among Southeast Asian countries for many years. On 25th of November, Myoda Hlada discussed whether the government has a plan to support this fading lacquerware business in Myanmar or not, and raising his concern over this issue, Wu Jiao-tou, Hlada representative from Mandalay Region Constituency 7 said,
As for now, fake lacquerwares are taking lacquerware market all over the country, which endangers the market for real craftsmen. Their investment, time, and work of craftsmen who have been doing this profession from their ancestors' time. The lacquerware professionals are finding hard to continue with lacquer works. Therefore, I would like to know how the government is planning to help develop these lacquerware professionals, and I also would like to know if we are to have exhibition for lacquerware to attract buyers from both abroad and domestic.
In response to the question raised by Wu Jiao-tou, Wu Lajao, the Deputy Minister for the Ministry of Agriculture, Livestock and Irrigation replied,
As the representative mentioned, lacquerware is one of the 10th Myanmar traditional arts and crafts, and this is also a symbol of Myanmar traditional handicraft. Therefore, it is very much important to maintain and preserve it and also help this industry grow as well. In order to help this industry grow, under the Ministry of Agriculture, Livestock and Irrigation has opened Lacquerware Technology College in Nyau District in Mandalay Region, where we have training programs for lacquerware arts and crafts professionals. The first school, opened in the colonial time in 1924, has also been upgraded to college with the aim to preserve and cherish lacquer arts. So around 1,000 students have been graduated from the college, and around 200 students are currently studying lacquerware arts and crafts. At the same time, in order to help the lacquerware technology graduates get jobs, we're also collaborating with NSSA, the National Skills Standard Authority.
According to Wu Lajao, the preventive measures for safety use of lacquerware products have also been done to prevent the consumers from unsafe infection from the products. The laboratory to research fast and safe production of lacquerware has also been built to reduce the amount of efforts used in traditional ways of lacquerware production. And the result of this research is also being distributed among the craftsmen. As the government is working on penetrating the international market, the government is also planning to expand the lacquerware handicrafts in Myanmar. This is Williamson reporting for MI Radio.
And that's all the reports on Myanmar Today. Now let's carry on with international news. Atmospheric concentrations of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases once again reached new highs in 2018. The World Meteorological Organization says the increase in CO2 was just above the average rise recorded over the last decade. Levels of other warming gases such as methane and nitrous oxide have also surged by above average amounts. Since 1990, there's been an increase of 43% in the warming effect on the climate of long-lived greenhouse gases. The WMO report looks at concentrations of warming gases in the atmosphere rather than just emissions. The difference between the two is that emissions refer to the amount of gases that go up into the atmosphere from the use of fossil fuels, such as burning coal for electricity and from deforestation. In other news, 80 million years ago, during the Cretaceous period, Mongolia's Gobi Desert was a dinosaur's paradise for vast valleys, freshwater lakes, and a humid climate. Mammal-eating velociraptors, lizard-hipped sauropods, and spike-armored ankylosaurs could have been spotted roaming in what are now the Martian red sandstone spires of Bayanzak's flaming cliffs. These prehistorically favorable conditions make the Gobi Desert the largest dinosaur fossil reservoir in the world. Over almost 100 years of paleontological research in the Gobi, more than 80 genera have been found. But for many people living there, this scientific heritage remains unknown. Viral animated images of a new Star Wars character nicknamed Baby Yoda are back online after a brief ban. GIFs featuring the co-star of the Mandalorian TV series had been widely shared online, with many viewers declaring the small alien as being, quote, the best thing about the new Disney Plus show. But the animations disappeared late last week after Jiffy, the platform used to make them, blocked the posts. It said it had done so because of confusion about their legal status. Disney had faced criticism after news site The Vulture had reported that its own Baby Yoda posts had been removed for, quote, copyright reasons, adding that, quote, Disney decided that GIFs of this beautiful being should be removed from the internet. Many fans subsequently complained on social media about the US media giant's supposed intervention. Well, that's going to wrap it up on today's Myanmar Today. Thank you for joining me, and you have a pleasant day. I am Henry Zin. See you again.